belly so fat, coming. So
Okay. Welcome to being on Entertainment TV. Hey, what's really going on? I got Northside. Yeah. I got Tori. Y'all got the way. Hey, Tori. got Tori. Got Sarah. Hey, Sarah. What's going on, sister? What's going on? Y'all, I have not seen nobody do a LGBTQ domestic domestic violence. So maybe some people go out there and start trying to put out their domestic violence in the LGBTQ community. I'm trying to get that name right, LGBTQ, and they got an A with a plus on it, community. So, hey, but anyway, when we first start showing out, y'all, I'm going to start showing some of these resources out. I already start sharing some resources, and I'm going to do make sure y'all get y'all resources. Y'all get y'all pens and paper out. And y'all write y'all resources down for domestic violence in the LGBTQ community. Yeah, that's 1-800-799-7233. And then Sarah put a number in there also. It's 1-800-832-1909. So, hey, we don't know who need these resources. We don't know who need these numbers. We don't know none of that. So, I'm going to be putting these resources up. So, I'm going to give y'all a chance to go ahead and write down what you need to write down. You get your pens and papers out and everything. Write these resources down because you can't say that you didn't know. You don't know anything about resources. How can you do this? How can you do that? Well, if you're in the LGBTQ community, I have some resources for you. I am more than happy to share them. Hey, domestic violence is in everybody's community. So don't just think domestic violence is just in your community because you're a straight couple. No, it's in all communities. Mm-hmm. Sure is. All communities. LGBT community, they are not reporting the domestic violence in some of their communities. And that as I was looking into videos and resources and looking at different things and different stories that people had, the only one that I can just really find, y'all, with a lot of domestic violence, y'all, are the women. And not too many women are reporting domestic violence, women on women. They're not doing that. They're not. I find it's more domestic violence between the women than it is with the men. I wonder why is that? Why? The LGBTQ plus community, domestic violence abusive service. Like I said, I'll put out our resources that I have up, and I hope you all write them down for your friends or somebody that you may know, you know. And you are not alone, you know what I'm saying? Domestic violence is in all communities, you know, all community. But I find it more with the women. I did not find domestic violence as far as being reported in the men's situation. It's the women, the heckling women. Did I say heckling women? Yeah, I said that. Again, there's another number, free confidential LGBTQ domestic violence hotline. They're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. And I tried to mark out different things that I couldn't. I tried to cut out certain things and things like that. But yeah, there's a lot of resources. 800-832-1901. And you have another one, which is also open 24 hours, 7 days a week. You speak to some advocates. It's 1-800-642-3150. So these are some of the resources that I do have for domestic violence in the community. In 1978, March 21st, San Francisco passed the Human Rights Ordinance that banned discrimination in employment, housing, and public accommodations based on sexual orientation. Yeah. This was led by Harvey, Milk, the first LGBTQ elected public servant in California history, y'all. Just gonna put that out there. Also, there's some more LGBTQ resources for suicide prevention awareness. They have a suicide prevention awareness month, and I went on their page and got this right here for resources for anybody who need resources for natural suicide prevention lifeline. You got Text Talks 741-741. You got the Trevor Project. You got the Sage LGBT Elder Hotline. You got the Trans Lifeline, and you got the LGBT National Hotline. And of course, okay, I'll just leave it for a minute because there's a lot of numbers there, so I'll just leave a few more seconds up there. Also, and you also still have this number. This number here is I found is in Dallas, Texas, which is the domestic violence unit over on Botham John Boulevard. You can also call this number. They have a fax number, and the lady lieutenant there, her name is Ashley Lee. That's for here in Dallas, Texas, domestic violence unit. So there's a number for that. That's 214-671-4304. If you need text by any kind of way, it's 214-671-4648. Y'all write these resources down. This is the LGBTQ resources. All right. Let me go to chat, and then we're gonna get on with these stories. Let's see here. Again, there's a number. One of the numbers again, put it up there, right there. Sarah said, I think the reason it's so high because some women are jealous and some violent toward one another. I think so too. I just don't understand that. And you would think, since women go through so much as domestic violence with men, why would you want to go do domestic violence with another woman? Mm, I just don't know. But let's get started, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy because I did some researching for this stuff. Let's get started, y'all. Oh, before I get started, no, I'll wait till the end.
I also had a time period in my life where I thought I was gay, so let's talk about it. I believe there are two ways you become gay or transgender. One, you were born that way, or two, you experienced some type of abuse that caused you to be that way. 46% of lesbians have either been sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, or stalked by an intimate partner. And 16% of men who are gay have either been sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, or stalked by an intimate partner. I don't believe homosexuality is greater than any other sin. If you were born that way, I'll talk about it in a second. But if you are homosexual or transgender due to trauma, I pray that you seek the help and support that you need in order to heal that, because it's not authentically who you are. If you were born this way, God has given you one of the most difficult things you will ever have to overcome in your life. Because just like the person who has to abstain from picking up the drugs or the person abstaining until marriage, you have to abstain from your sexual desires to interact with the same sex. You have to love God more than you love your flesh. And that is the hardest out of anything. It makes me emotionally think about one of the hardest things anybody could possibly have to do. So understand how strong God must think that you are in order to be able to overcome that. But regardless of your sexual gender preference, I still love you the same. And if any Christian says that they can't still love you, newsflash, they're not a real Christian.
I never hear anybody talking about female on female domestic violence, and I think it's probably a hell of a lot more prevalent than people realize that it is. Almost 20 years ago now, I was in an incredibly abusive relationship, and anytime that I had the thought of disclosing that to somebody, that thought was then interrupted by the thought, like, what are they going to say? Oh, your girlfriend hits you? Like, I couldn't imagine it being taken seriously. But the truth is, yeah, she did hit me and kick me and throw things at me and grab me and was like unhinged. One time I was trying to de-escalate a situation by leaving because she would not stop. And I was trying to take our very small child on my hip and go to the garage to get in my vehicle and leave the situation. And she came behind me and kicked the back of my knee out, so I fell with our small child. And the truth is, I never hear any data or statistics or research about this, and I can't say with any certainty that if I was sitting in an emergency room today with injuries that seemed very obviously caused as a result of intimate partner violence, I don't know that I would be any more inclined to disclose today than I would have been when it happened to me 16 plus years ago. Because if you never hear anybody talk about it, you think, who's going to even believe that this is a thing? But it is, and the fact that nobody talks about it is a really big problem.
It is a problem if they don't talk about it. It's a problem. And I think it's more like what Sarah said. You know, then it's two women, then two men. So men's and they would give me the reason to think that men's are not the high-headed one, it's the women. If two men can get along and not being a domestic violence like that, and the two women get along and be in domestic violence, it's the women that are the hot-headed ones. Would you think that? I don't know. That's why I see it as right now.
I dated this guy once who put his hands on me, and so I called the police on him. And he looked me dead in my face and he said, "You're gonna call the police on a black man, knowing what they do to black men? Sir, do you know what you just did to another black man?"
Right, Sarah, right. 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 You know, that's why I think it's the women. But we need to check ourselves, women. This right here is a way we can really check ourselves. How can two men get along and the rates is not high with the men's? How can two men get along no matter what their sexuality is? How can two men get along and two women be more into domestic violence and fighting and carry on? And they're getting police called on them and they're calling the police on each other. But the men's not doing that. The men's are the ones who keeping the couple steady. They ain't acting like y'all acting over there. So how can it be? So again, like Sarah agree with me. It makes me think it's the women. Again, makes me think it's the women who got the problem. If two men can stay together and live and love each other and have no domestic violence, because I can find hardly nothing to do with domestic violence with the men. But the women was on fire, yeah. These women are violent. I mean, women are violent, y'all. And when I looked at them like, you trying to tell me as a woman that domestic violence is more in the woman's stage than it is in the man's stage? But we as women are always the ones running our mouth and heckling, carrying on. But the men's, when they get in domestic violence, even just in the domestic violence abuse with a woman itself, the man do not go and file charges. But now when you get a man and a woman into it, and whatever the woman's gonna call. So would you not think that it's not gonna work with two women? I ain't trying to change your mind. I'm just saying that the way that the domestic violence look on a woman's end than where it look at on a man's end. That make me think and make me know the women, we are violent. God, we violent. We're violent. Hey, Cassandra, what's going on, girl? We violent, y'all. We're gonna be going good. I just started, girl. Yeah, these women's are violent, y'all. I don't know. And this one man just said he was getting abused, and the first thing abuser would say, "You gonna call the police on me? You gonna have me locked up?" If you've been domestic violence, you heard that before. You gonna call the police on me? I can't believe you gonna call the police on me and gonna have me locked up. That's the first thing they said in a woman's situation. Now, here in this man's situation, they said the same thing. You gonna call the police on me? And you know such about how they do men, whatever. Well, yeah, you put your hands on me, you gonna call somebody. Before we call the other 911. Right? Right. I mean, why not? They can't keep their hand themselves, girl. They can't keep their hand themselves. That's why they violent. It's the women. The women, y'all, boy. I can't believe some of these women violent like that. This is what made me really realize how violent women really are. Ooh,
it's interesting because I don't think there's any survivor I've heard of say it ever felt like it was abuse or anything in that situation.
When did you realize it was then?
I had a really good friend who just kind of pointed it out. And for me, because it's also, same sex, there's a lot of issues in the queer community. There's a lot of power dynamics and things within it that a lot of people don't really talk about.
So you never really thought that a woman could abuse
No,
a woman?
I didn't.
I think a lot of people would think that women wouldn't abuse other women, but the statistics say that it's higher in same-sex relationships.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like 1 in 2.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Did you hear that? Domestic abuse is bad. They even said between 1 and 2. They even said it right there. How high it is. And I was just speculating on what I've been hearing and what I've seen on some of the videos that I looked at. And they totally agree with me right here. But y'all, this is a story time right here, y'all. So y'all get ready right here. I didn't hear it all, but I'm ready to hear it all. I heard some of it. I just want to make sure it wasn't no cussing in between. But y'all know me. When I play my videos, I try watching with y'all because I don't be seen them yet. But this is part 1, 2, and 3. So let's go. Get comfortable.
So yeah, here goes story time. Y'all been asking for it, here you go. But first off, before I get up in this, she all y'all wanna know, was she a December sag or a November sag? She most definitely a December sag. So yeah, all y'all talking about how you ain't like that, it's kinda hard for me to believe. Y'all sags, y'all some serious. And I'm a Cancer. So I'm a June Cancer. So, man, it was so much that happened in our whole relationship. Like, we was together like 2 years, and it was so much that happened. So, I'm going to give y'all a story. So, I'm going to start out with, I'm going to tell y'all about the night we caught the domestic violence charge. So, I was out one night. I had to go to work the next morning, but I was out that night. I was chilling with my homeboy. We were drinking and shit. I was over his house. We were drinking, chilling, chopping it up or whatever. So, she blowing my phone up. I'm talking about going crazy. So I answer that bitch, you know what I'm saying, a couple times because she started to get on my nerves. So sometimes I want to answer because you know how that go. So I had Elsa and whatever. She was snapping on me to my wing, coming to the house and all this and that. So mind you, I didn't live with her for real, but I did have clothes over there. I had a bunch of shit over there, you know, work clothes, regular clothes. I had a bunch of shit over there. So me and my homeboy, we still chilling, chopping it up or whatever. And I finally, let's see, it might have been like 1 something. So I finally decided I was going to go to the house because I had to be at work at 6. So I finally decided I was going to go to her house. So I get down there, I pull up. No, I called her first and told her I was coming. Everything seemed cool when I called her and told her I was on my way. So I had a key. So I pull up down there. And when I pull up, so mind y'all, I'm kind of tipsy, man. I'm a little drunk. So I'm opening the door. I'm putting the key in the door, and I'm trying to open the door. And as I'm opening the door, I really couldn't push the door. You know what I'm saying? So I finally got to open a little bit. And so when I got the door open a little bit, I see she had to push the couch to the door while I couldn't really get in. So I finally get in. I push the couch back. I finally get in. So when I walk through the door, I see all my clothes scattered around in that bitch. I'm talking about all my clothes just scattered all in the living room. You know what I'm saying? Some of my shit ripped up, tore up. Man, she had to fuck some of my shit up. So I go to the room and I try to open the door. And so I try to open the door. She had the door locked, so I ain't say nothing. So I just walked back in the living room. I start picking my stuff up. As I'm picking my stuff up, she come out the room, y'all, snapping out. I'm talking about going crazy. Boy, I'm talking about that motherfucker going crazy. That started going up from there.
Man, but I tell you what. Ooh-wee, man. Put my disclaimer up, y'all. Part 2.
So yeah, after she come out the room going crazy or whatnot. So I ain't saying nothing to him, just picking my stuff up, putting it back in my little Adidas duffel bag or whatever, my little bag I had over there and shit with my shit in it. So she cussing me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You probably out with a bitch, you was out with a bitch, you know what I'm saying? You know all that shit, you know how that shit go. All type calling me all type of bitches and hoes, motherfuckers, all this type of thing right here. So I'm down there on the ground, man. I'm down there on the ground on my knee, man. You come on, y'all. I'm tipsy. I'm a little drunk, man. So I'm down there picking my shit up. There's a bunch of shit. I see my jerseys, and I seen one of my jerseys ripped up. I'm getting kind of pissed off, so she started going crazy, right? So I'm down there like this, you know what I'm saying? Put my stuff in my hand, I had my head down. So that motherfucker going off, she got up close to me where I was. So she was like, you ain't got no talk for me? You ain't got no motherfucking talk for me? So that motherfucker punched me in my motherfucking forehead, y'all. Punched me in my motherfucking forehead so fucking hard. So, man, I jump up. We in that bitch scrapping. Wop. I'm talking about we going at it. Y'all, well, if y'all see, like, she was scratching me and shit. And you know what I'm saying, I got long ass nails, so I probably was scratching her some too. But it was deep. Like, these motherfuckers, they heal pretty good. It was deep, you know what I'm saying. This one right here, she ain't do that shit. That shit happened. Some other shit happened to me. But scratch my fucking head. I had 2 long ass scratches over that bitch. So this motherfucker went in the kitchen, y'all, grabbed the motherfucking knife. So she chasing me with the knife and shit around the house. I'm grabbing her, pushing up against the wall with the knife, trying to get the knife or whatever. So I'm telling her, she talking about something, oh, you, what the fuck you got going on? I guess you gonna leave now and this and that. Cause you know, mind you, like, all the time we get into it, like, I just leave, you feel me? Like, I ain't with all that rah-rah shit. I'm finna get the fuck on down, really. So the motherfucker, she still had the knife, so she stopped trying to stab me with that bitch. And so she ran outside. And this night I was in my truck. And how about that motherfucker? Went to my truck, she flattened one time, boom. Went to the other side, she is still out there snapping, y'all. She still going crazy now. Motherfucker got a little mouth on her too now. So she still out there going crazy. Man, this motherfucker done flattened 3 of my tires, man. But she tried to flatten all 4 of them, but when she got to the 3rd tire, the goddamn knife broke off in that motherfucker. So, man, I'm like, what the fuck, y'all? So I run down the street, man. I'm the one calling the police, man. I run down the street calling the police because I see this shit wasn't going nowhere, bro. Like, I need somebody, you know, calm this motherfucker down so I can get my shit. And now I got to get my shit told. I got to get the fuck away from here. So, man, goddamn. So I call the police. They come.
They got drama. They got drama in their relationship. I don't want to be with no woman with drama like that. Woo-wee. No, sir. No, sir, Bob. Hey, Tori.
So, yeah, after the police get there, they let me get my stuff out the house or whatever. So I'm going back and forth, getting my stuff at the house, putting it in my truck. Now, mind you, I got 3 flat tires. All I'm doing is putting the shit in my motherfucking truck. So I got to get a tow truck down this bitch. So they was talking to her. So while they talking to her, I'm in there, when I finally get my stuff out the house, he come up to me talking about some, oh, she talking about some, you was out cheating on her, why you out catting around when you supposed to be at home with your family and all this shit like that. So he was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm finna take both of y'all to jail. So, boom, fast forward, we both get down there, so they put us in the front or whatever. They took us to the police station first, or they took us down to the ADC. So we down there, whatever they doing, whatever the fuck they doing. So me and her, they told me, y'all don't talk to each other. So me and her, we in that bitch, I'm in that bitch cussing our ass out and shit, talking shit to her. They telling me to shut up and all this and that. And then I was really pissed off because they had her handcuffed in the front like that, but had me handcuffed behind my back. So, like, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? She the one causing all the fucking damage. Whatever, she need to be handcuffed in the back. Me in the front. The fuck? So bad. And the killing part about this shit, so when we get ready to go get in the car to go down to the ADC, I hollered out, I was like, babe, I love you. She was like, she was crying. She was like, babe, I love you too. She was tossing this phone. So goddamn, they took us down to the ADC, we changed our shit, whatever. I'm in that bitch, I'm still kind of tipsy. So at this point, you know, I really ain't even tripping no more. I'm really just gonna lay down, you feel me? Because I was tired and goddamn, hey, them bills was weighing in on my ass. So we get out. So the next morning they came with the bond paper. My sister had to bond me out. So they took me back to the holding cell to put my clothes back on. How about they open the door? Guess who I see? Y'all already know. I see this motherfucker. She already up in there. She told my babe, please talk to me, baby. Please talk to me. Let's talk about this. All this and that. So, man, I'm like, man, listen. You just chill the fuck out, man, until we get up out of here. For real. Just chill the fuck out. So, we sitting in that bitch for a little minute because it was kind of like a fucking, I don't know, I feel like it was a setup because when we got down to the ADC, they telling the folks, hey, y'all need to keep them two away from each other. So we get ready, okay, they come let us out. Then we walk out the door.
Oh, they want no good for each other. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You know, why do people be in domestic violence fight and then go back to the same situation? And why do we wait till you get to that point to where we call for help? Why? Why did we get to a certain point before we ask for help? Before we get any kind of help? Why? Why do we do that? Again, there are some numbers to call. There are some resources. You don't have to go through that. Get you some help. Get some help before you get too bad where you fighting. Somebody going to jail now. When you get to the point somebody going to jail now, there's a problem. And if they're not in your city and state, they can give you some referrals to your city and state and help you out. Where you can get you some kind of help as far as with the domestic violence. See what I'm saying? Get you some help. There's a 24-hour number called 1-800-642-3150. Somebody's there all day, every day. Also, it says our Safe Haven Center allows lower house to accommodate male, females, and non-gender conforming individuals who are in need of safe shelter. Y'all see that down there? Y'all see it? Males and females, non-gender, conforming individuals who are in need of safe shelter. So it don't make no difference. Get you some help.
Let me tell you the time I got ran over by my girlfriend. Many masculine presenting women are victims of domestic violence. A good portion of the abuse that those women experience is by the hands of a feminine woman. We don't have this conversation a lot because of a few different reasons. One is keeping up with heteronormativity, with the fact that the masculine person feels like masculine women, just masculinity in general, is not supposed to let femininity control them. If a feminine woman is abusing them and causing them harm, they have to keep it to themselves because, that's just not what men do. And I say men in the form of, following traditional norms of what male masculinity looks like. The other reason is that there's a possibility that the masculine woman won't be believed because unfortunately it's still a space where masculine women, our masculinity can be seen before our womanhood. And so, if you're putting a traditional woman up against a untraditional woman, feminine, masculine, a lot of times, the saying of believe all women, that comes to a crossroad. Sometimes they don't get believed. I'm here to share my story. I'm a masculine presenting woman who was in an abusive relationship. And I was debating on if I was gonna go serious or if I was gonna, be funny, ha. But, I'm me, so I'm gonna mix it up. I was young, probably like 20 something. I didn't have that foundation of what love is supposed to look like. I get stationed over in Texas. I meet this chick. She hollered at me. We talked, we kicked it, got together. Started to see certain things like it just wasn't right. Where she was, real aggressive, real demanding, like to play mind games and shit like that. And when I was growing up, it was in the 90s and the 2000s. I'm hearing from music and TV and all of this shit where the examples of love, especially examples of black love, was this struggle shit. But it wasn't anything that was healthy, boundaries, whatever. So that's my foundation right there. Me and her, we have been together for like 2 years, right? It was just that back and forth shit, just arguing. I don't want to be with you. I break up. Blah, blah. Y'all know how that lesbian shit be. So, our relationship was rocky. It was a lot of turmoil. She would flip out. Like, I'm in the military. She knew the deal. She would demand me to check in. She would demand me to pretty much get my whereabouts at every turn, when I'm coming home, all of this shit. And if I didn't, she would threaten me to call my command and have me court-martialed from the military. But she didn't fucking believe me because it's like, I know my pops was in the military, so I know how the military go and all that. You know what I'm saying? That was a real threat to me. Because at that time, don't ask, don't tell was a real fucking thing. And that shit got really, really wild. And mind you, I'm not the type of person to put my hands on someone. I became that person. It was never like, I get mad and be like, Trump, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. No, it was always a defense of like, hit me and shit like that. So one occasion was she got fucking mad because I had a piss test, right? Let me tell you a story.
It would end with the drug test, wouldn't it? What the? Let me go to chat right quick. Physical abuse and mental abuse go ahead. It sure do. Not only that, sometimes it gets so bad, the firearm start getting involved with stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Sure do mess with your head, Lord Jesus. It was getting good.
Let me tell you the time I got ran over by my girlfriend. I had a piss test and they pop these shits on you just out the blue. And what do you do when you first get up? Before you go anywhere, you go pee. I had already peed when I first got up. So by the time I got there, I couldn't go. So it took me a while because it's not an instantaneous thing. And plus you ain't supposed to be on your phones. You ain't even supposed to leave the area. She expected me to take her to school. I couldn't get in contact with her because I couldn't leave. So my homeboy was working the front desk. And then he was like, yo, your girl called, and she calling like a whole bunch. She sounded like mad as fuck. And I was like, oh shit, like, yo, tell her I'm in a piss test, so I can't talk right now. Talk to one of my other homies and let me use their cell phone or whatever. So I call her, I'm like, yo, you gotta chill. You can't be calling the fucking military talking about you looking for your girlfriend. Like, fam, I am a whole ass chick. This shit is illegal. I can fucking go to jail. She's over here like, I don't give a fuck. I gotta go to class and da-da-da. And I'm like, well, then fucking go. Just call somebody and take you. She's like, you got my fucking books. The night before, I was like, get your bag out of the car because you might need it. She's just fussing with me like, why I need to take it out the car? You taking me to school anyway. I'm like, cause you might need it. I don't fucking know. Just go get your shit. She doesn't. She scheduled this shit so damn close to the time for me getting off of PT. Yeah, I'm like damn speeding and shit, trying to get back to just take her to fucking classes and shit, right? And so I finally hurry up, try to pee as fast as I can, get to her place. She is livid, right? Because she's late. And she's like, going off, where the fuck were you? And you fucking, I can't fucking believe you. I'm like, yo, I had a fucking piss test. What'd you want me to do? I couldn't fucking leave. You should have fucking left. You should have, you know what I'm saying? Basically putting my job in jeopardy. Even still, I'm like, yo, come on, get in the car. You can still just go to fucking class or go to your next class. So she get in the car.
Y'all know what? And there was no other part to it. I swear to God, I went out through them videos. My God, that's what took so long to put the video to get it together. I went through so many videos to get so much stuff together. Yeah, she was scared, Pat. Tar, she was, scared. Yeah, she was scared, Tar. Miss Pat, right? These folks crazy, y'all. Let me throw another number up here in the midst of my resources. Let's see here. We got here's a number right here that we need to put up. 1-617-742-4911 for confidential support information and refers to lesbian, bisexual, and transgender support to resources. Domestic violence hotline 1-800-799-7233. No matter what your gender is, someone is there to help you 24 hours, 7 days a week. And also, they want to let you know you're not alone, which you're not. Domestic violence is domestic violence, right? Right. So, yeah, I went on they wall and got that. I said I be doing things. I be getting my researches and I be looking for stuff that will accommodate and help other people. They can get the help that they can get with any resources that I got. And also, I think I did show this one right here. It got a lot of resources on it. I went to the suicide prevention line and got this also for the LGBTQ. And they also have a suicide prevention awareness month, but I think it's this month though. I think it's like in June or July, somewhere along in there. And there's a lot of phone numbers right there that you may be able to use or share with your friend or anybody like that. And you had a 988 number where which is a lifeline number you can call as well. So, I try to find much resources I can find that can be helpful. And also here in Dallas, Texas, we got the domestic violence unit over at the Botham John Boulevard down there with Ashley Lee. You can call and contact her at 214-671-4304, and also to help you with anything as far as domestic violence here. And if you call those numbers and it's not the number that you need in your city and state, I'll be more than glad to give you numbers that will help you in your city and state as well. Man, that's the hard part. I don't know why that's so hard, pal. That's the hard part. And that last video we seen, she was getting verbally abused. That woman was getting verbal abuse. That woman had a mouth frame on her. Man, and I ain't gonna be taking no verbal abuse from no doggone body. Shoot. Forget that stuff, shoot.
Come on the air with breaking news for same-sex couples.
When I was a kid, I had two moms, but I didn't know it. My moms told me they were best friends. When I turned 13 and I figured out that I might be gay, I imagined a life where I would live on the side of town and no one would talk to me because I'd be the only gay person in my whole town. And I didn't know that right upstairs there were two more because the world taught my moms and me that it was bad to be gay.
This morning, the Supreme Court...
And that's what the Supreme Court just did.
...handed down a major decision.
For the first time in U.S. history, businesses can now legally and constitutionally refuse service to someone just because they're gay.
Significant and sweeping decision.
Same-sex couple could be kicked out of a restaurant just for being gay. A trans person could be kicked out of a barber shop.
Before you go, making gay news for you has been the pride and joy of my life, and I don't want to lose you. Would you follow me on Instagram?
I feel like when they're doing them like that, that's abuse. They're abusing them. When they're doing them this kind of way, they're getting, and the reason why I showed it because I want to say that I feel like they're getting abused. They're getting abused. Verbally. They're getting abused. And I won't call it domestic violence, but it's abuse. And what? Abuse is abuse, right? Right. There's no other way to call it. Abuse is abuse. It showed you, Tori. You right, Tori. People are saying I feel guilty, and Tori, you right. It happens both types of relationships. That's right. It ain't, and people don't understand that. They ain't got they got it as far as it being transgender, LGBTQ, whatever. But then also being looked at a certain way, and then getting jumped on with the missing battle. Then you turn around and the news turn around and abuse you too in a certain kind of way. Man do it to a woman, and a woman do it to you. That's right. You sure right, my brother. These folks is crazy.
Tonight, police say a woman is dead after she...
Oh, yeah, that's the right one. My bad.
Tonight, police say a woman is dead after she was shot and killed by her partner.
The woman who allegedly pulled the trigger is now in custody. It happened in Northeast Houston on Doris Oak Circle. Stephanie Whitfield is on this story for us this morning. Stephanie, what are police telling you?
Well, we were here when this scene cleared about 30 minutes ago, and police are telling us this is unfortunately another deadly case of domestic violence. Here's what we know about this case so far. A little after 1 o'clock in the morning, Houston police got a call saying someone had been shot. When they arrived at Doris Oak Circle, investigators say a woman answered the door and pointed to the bedroom. Officers tell us they found a second woman dead. We're told the two women, both in their 30s, were married.
Talking with some of the neighbors, there has been some few disturbances out here, but as far as a cause for service, in the past we haven't had any cause for service at this residence.
Investigators couldn't tell us what the two women were fighting about, but they say the argument escalated to the deadly shooting. And the woman who pulled the trigger did try to do CPR to try and save her spouse. Now, she did ultimately surrender to police. You saw video of her in custody. We're told she's now being questioned by detectives.
Okay, I got a problem with that. My first problem is you shoot her. My second problem is you try to save her. Why shoot her? See, this is the part of domestic violence that scared me when they get to this point, when they start using firearms. This is the part that get really, really scary. When you start using firearm with domestic violence and you start getting the mental health issue, the mental issues also with domestic violence, all they play hand in hand. It's all with the mind, the mouth, and everything. See what I'm saying? And my thing is, when it get that bad, dang, when it just get that bad, we got to go to another method. See, when you go to another method, that means you done use our method. You done bad mouth, you done cuss them out, you done dog them out, you done did everything you can do. So now what's left to do? You ain't got one thing left to do. And that's your option. See, little backhand story. That was my fear for DG and Eve. I watched them self-destruct on each other. I watched them. I sat there and I watched and I heard and I watched and I heard and I listened. It got so far and so bad where you got people telling you, pew pew, pew pew. And it's at this point now, it's where it's violence beyond violence. It's where now you done did everything you could. You done cussed each other out. You done cut up stuff. You done embarrassed each other. You done put your business out there. You done did everything you can do. Everything as far as domestic violence. But there's one thing you have not tried just yet. Just yet. And that's unaliving somebody. That's the next step. Because you only got one more thing to do. You never did break them with everything else you done tried. But now, since you can't break them, you can do something else. And that was my fear for DG and E. Because I watched them self-destruct. I watched them go by step. They went through the steps. They went through steps. And they went through A1 step to B1 step to 2 step to C3 step. They went step by freaking step. I watched them people. Now, they done went through all the steps. Jail steps. They went through all the steps. They ain't got but one more step to go through. One more step to go through. And y'all know what this step is. And y'all heard it from me. You heard it from me. They got one more step to go through. One more. One more step. Yes, sir. And that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, they might be addicted. And it's double trouble. But they ain't got but one more step, baby. They got one more step. And they one more step is poo-pooing. And somebody getting hurt. And then at this time, you done did the most. Something that you can't take back. It might be her poo-pooing. It might be him poo-pooing. But 9 times out of 10, what I've been seeing so far, it would be her. She's the aggressive one. She is the feisty one. She is the one who is the most dangerous. Because guess what she got involved? She got that steel wheel, the alcohol beverages in her system. And when you get alcohol beverage in this system run along with domestic violence, and you got a firearm in the house that ain't acting right, and something ain't right, and it ain't just right like you want to be right, and you done went through all the doggone stuff, and you still ain't right, ain't but one more thing to do. That's it. Man, it pissed me off. Ain't but one more thing to do. You ain't got one. So when you make that one last step, make it your best step, because you ain't coming home no more. And you ain't going to be outside no more to play and see the sunlight. Yeah. I'm telling y'all be mindful, man, when y'all going to that domestic violence, man. I'm telling y'all. I don't want y'all getting no trouble.
At age 22, my younger brother William fell in love with an older man named Gary from Salem, Indiana. Gary turned out to be an alcoholic, abusive piece of shit. I'm sure my little brother didn't tell me half of what was going on between the two of them, but I know that Gary was verbally and physically abusive. And I know that one night, Gary threw a drink at my brother, and that glass broke and cut my brother's hand. So then my brother knocked him down on the ground and fractured his rib. All Gary really wanted to do was control my brother. He was so jealous. Every time my brother looked at another person, he freaked out and became violent. It wasn't long before this abuse took its toll on my poor brother William, and he ended up having another psychotic episode with schizophrenia. Only this time he went back to Kentucky, and my family members did the worst thing that they could have done. Now, I'm sure they had good intentions, but my little brother William was an atheist before he had his first psychotic episode, and once he had healed from it, he was still an atheist. So when somebody is psychotic and they're hearing the voice of God in their head, the last thing you want to do is take them to a Southern Baptist preacher. And yet that's exactly what they did. And of course, none of this biblical bullshit helped him whatsoever. I kept telling them he needs to go to the hospital, he needs his medication. They did not listen. So again, I drove down to Kentucky, I picked up my brother, and I brought him back to Illinois. Only this time, we weren't living in the condo on Lakeshore Drive. We had recently moved into a 4-bedroom house in Lake Villa. It's a northern suburb of Chicago, and it was a very peaceful, quiet cul-de-sac. But my husband had already planned a trip to Poland for 2 weeks, and he couldn't take my son Anthony with him because he was still in foster care. So I had to stay home with my son Anthony, and the day that I brought my brother home with his psychotic episode was the day that I drove my husband to the airport and then went straight to the hospital and got my brother to check himself in. What I had learned from his previous episodes helped me to get him the proper care immediately. And within 6 weeks, my brother was no longer hearing voices, and he seemed to be doing much better. But one day he called Gary, and Gary convinced him to go back. Over the next 5 years, my brother and Gary would fight quite a bit, but they would stay together. Although my brother did come to stay with me for a week here and there, he always ended up going back to that maniac. During these years, my husband and I had adopted 2 beautiful little brothers and raised them as our own. We were really living a beautiful life together. But on the morning of April 19th, 2000, I was awakened by the loudest sound of thunder I'd ever heard, followed by the worst phone call I could ever imagine. My little brother was no longer living.
Just don't know how far domestic violence would take a person. Domestic violence would take you a long, long way. Have you out there on that limb? Man, they have you out there on that limb. Let me see. I haven't showed yet. I did already.
Hi community, so this is a specific message for those of you who identify as being part of the LGBTQ plus community and that you are suffering from domestic abuse. Remember, domestic abuse is not just about intimate partner relationships, it's also about what is happening within your home environment. And for those family, friends and loved ones who might see this video, please, 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 if you know anyone who is in this circumstance, share the video. Let them understand that there is help out there. Why? Because we know that if you are identifying as being part of that community and suffering from domestic abuse, you are more likely to commit acts of self-harm. You are more likely to have attempted to commit suicide. You are more likely to have left one intimate partner relationship where domestic abuse featured and then enter into another one where it features. You are more likely to have suffered domestic abuse in the home as a child. We know about Stonewall, that fantastic charity that exists. Go on your local authority website, have a look at the counselling that's offered. There are charities and organisations that exist out there, guys. Please, 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 if you need help, get in contact.
Okay, y'all heard her. I swear, I'm trying to put much resources I can out here and let y'all, the people, be aware.
This is right. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Feel like keep your fucking hands to yourself. Period.
Bad. This little girl right here, she got a bad mouth, y'all. Just excuse her mouth, but she got a good point.
Feel like keep your fucking hands to yourself. Period.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody hitting on you. You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Keep your hands to yourself. But me personally. If a bitch hit me, knock your ass out, man. Don't hit me, cause like no real shit. I was in an abusive relationship, y'all. Yeah. Let me tell y'all, that hoe was beating me nonstop. Yeah. When I was dating her, I was like fresh out of high school. She was older, so she had so much more going on than I did. So that was kind of like the controlling aspect. So me being who I was, such a baby at that time, I was just letting her wild out. Like, bitch, you want to put your hands on me? I don't care. Like, the bitch had a lot going on for herself. So it ended up getting to a point where I ended up calling my mama, and my mama was like, either you gonna beat that bitch ass or I'm gonna come beat that bitch ass and I'm gonna beat your ass. Because growing up, my mama always told me, if you get in a fight and you lose, you gonna lose twice. Because when you get home, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And I used to be like, damn.
That's
like,
some black mama shit right
most
there.
Most definitely. So, man, I hung up with my mama because my mama fucking insane. Yeah, I hung up with my mama. I said, yeah, I gotta beat you up, bitch. My mama said so fuck it. I started beating that bitch back up. Because, like, it got to a point where we was just in that bitch, like, every fucking day. Just got, fucking tussling and shit. So I was, like, you started getting real crazy, man. I was just like,
every day. Why though? Like, what was causing y'all to fight?
It was the power aspect. She knew that she had so much control and so much power over me. So even if I did get to a point where I mustered up the fucking courage to be like, you know what, I'm finna pack my shit and I'm finna go, like I'm finna leave, that bitch would just wild out and just hit me in my shit. Or even like, oh my God, I remember being at work and this badass bitch kept following me around a fucking store. She could see into our workplace. Like the way the building was set up, she could see. She saw the bitch literally follow me around the workplace. Most definitely. Like, damn, bitch. So the bitch followed me around the workplace. I finally clock out. I get in the car. She asked me like twice, like, why that girl kept following you? And I was like, I don't know. She was just talking. Like, we was co-workers. She's just talking. We folding clothes. We working. Man, she asked me again, why that bitch kept following you? Before I could even get the question out, she just punched me dead in my jaw. Damn. I said, damn, bitch. Like, because a bitch following me, I'm getting hit. Go hit that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it was more so just like the fact that she knew she had the power over me. But I think it got to a point where she ended up perforating my eardrum. She hit me so hard in my ear that my eardrum ripped. So for a good little minute, I could not hear shit. Nigga, it felt like I was underwater. Like, every day I woke up, I'm like...
She hit your ass hard.
Yeah, she hit me hard as fuck. And it just got to a point, I remember calling my sister, and my sister told me straight up, she was like, that bitch, she gonna fuck around and kill you.
Yeah.
And that shit kind of, it just woke something up in me, especially after, like, my mama saying, like, either I'm gonna beat the bitch up, or you gonna beat the bitch up, or I'm gonna beat both y'all up. And I was like, well, this shit done ran its course, bitch. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay.
Domestic violence doesn't discriminate. It doesn't just happen in heterosexual relationships. It happens in LGBTQ plus relationships too. Hi, my name is Naka and I'm a domestic abuse caseworker and advocate in England. Many people don't know that domestic abuse also happens in LGBTQ plus relationships, but many victims face unique challenges. This can include the fear of being outed by their abuser, a lack of representation in support services, the misconception that abuse only happens in heterosexual relationships. Abuse is about power and control, no matter the gender or sexual orientation of the people involved. If you are in an LGBTQ plus relationship and experiencing abuse, know that your story matters and help is available. In the next episode, we will shed light on domestic violence against men, breaking the stigma around this often overlooked issue. Follow for more, like, and don't forget to share.
She has some resources on it too. So anytime you want to go back and play it, you can and freeze it, because she also has resources as well. That was listed on there for you as well. Because like I said, we want to put all resources out there. Anything to do with domestic violence, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna put it out there. I am. They were both kids. I stopped following that stuff. Yeah, you're right, Pap. Before you, this why I was just saying a while ago. 2 women is goofy. I you know, each to his own. You know, I each to his own. Just don't put it off on with your problems off on nobody else. But my thing is, I knew when I kept on doing these researches. I kept on doing researches. Let me put the these notes back up while I'm telling y'all about what I did. When I was going through my research and I was kept on looking for different stuff, and I was going through videos and getting numbers and stuff and everything like that. And it came to me that, like I told y'all earlier, it's more women. You women. Well, y'all are hell. Man. Emotional creatures. And then what that boy said over in Baby Boy? There's emotional creatures, something like that he said. That black dude, I can't remember what his name was, but that's what he said. He was staying with his girlfriend and her mama. That's the emotional creatures. And that's true. Because there's no way 2 men should be able to get along than with 2 women, because the fact that 2 women know more about domestic violence than what the men would know. Somewhat. So why would 2 women go into a whole ordeal and argue and fight when you don't even want to do that with a man? Because it's domestic violence. The same thing with a woman. Domestic violence. So that let me know that when I found that out, that let me know that it's the women in these relationships. But why you say that? I just told you. More the women is into heckling and hackling into each other than within the men's, because I couldn't even find her no videos. Y'all seen it? I went through them videos like a pro. I couldn't find no videos of men domestic violence. It was just basically on cackling, hackling ass females. No men. It was the women. The women. So that let me know, just instead of putting it out on the LGBTQ, I'm just gonna say, but I would say out of 100%, I would say 85%, 80. I say 80% is the women with domestic violence. I would never say half. I would never say 50-50. Never. Because it's not 50-50. See, when a man does it, as far as domestic violence to a woman or to a male or whatever, I think it's because they going through some or some they going through or whatever. But as for as a woman, you're running your mouth of the whole thing of domestic violence. That's what I see. I'm sorry. And again, right here, y'all, it's a bunch of numbers right here, y'all. You got the National Suicide Prevention Line. You got the Text Talk. You got the Trevor Project. I think the Trevor Project is for teenagers, y'all. And I remember I wrote that down a while back in my other folder that's the project for kids. You got the SAGE, the LGBT for the Elder Hotline, which is a peer support. And then you got the Trans Lifeline for the gender people. And you got the LGBT for the National Hotline. So, and that's also for all, it's a peer support and local resources for all ages, y'all. And also you got a 988. We always know about the 988 number, right? And don't forget, we know about the domestic violence unit here in Dallas, Texas on Botham John Boulevard. We can also contact Lieutenant Ashley Lee. And if any of these numbers are listed on here, y'all, for the LGBTQ resources, y'all, and it's not in your area, just take one of those numbers and they can give you resources within your city and state that can help you there. Okay? I really appreciate it. And you know, so it just lets people know that it don't matter what your sexuality is. Domestic violence is in our communities, the gay communities, the white community, the Asian, the Mexicans, the Ethiopians, the Vietnamese, the African American. Domestic violence is in everybody's neighborhood. You are not exempt because what you are or what you carry yourself are. Domestic violence is in every community. Again, in every community. Okay. Again, there are people just like us. They live just like us. And some of them is cleaner than majority of some women. And when I say that, I mean as far as the men's. I've seen some men's. I got some homies and love them to death. Clean as a pin. House clean as a snake. But you can go to some of these women houses. Houses filthy, old clothes everywhere, need dusty, messing my sinuses, making me sneeze like that right there and stuff. Yeah. But y'all need to get together before it comes to the domestic violence. And when it comes down to the hand of playing with the firearm and domestic violence, firearm, mental illness, none of that stuff goes together. That's wreckage for a disaster. That's a disaster, y'all, to happen. It really is. Sarah said that women need to learn how to control it. They need to learn how to control themselves. Because, I mean, if I wouldn't have been going through different videos and reading different stuff, I never would believe that it's the women. But it's the doggone women. It's the women. You got a few men, but it's the women. It's the women. The mom said, another woman can't keep you feminine. Hey, that just way some people. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep these resources up. If you need to, I'm gonna keep the video up, brother. If you need to keep the video up and you need to replay based on the resources, you can do that. That's why I downloaded them but before I upload them, sorry, so y'all can have those resources on hand if you need these resources. Don't be scared to get the resources, write them down. You might know a friend might need them later on down the line. You might know a friend that's going through the same thing I'm talking about right now. even if it's not no woman on woman, if it's not a man on man, it's still those resources still will help you if you are in a domestic violence period. And like I said, if no matter what city and state you are, they can always give you numbers in your city and state, resources, shelters, help. Again, help. 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 Okay. So it's been a pleasure for me doing this right here, because it was a pleasure of me learning, reading, observing, getting my information. It's a pleasure getting all that stuff, and it helped me also understand more the domestic violence abuse in the LGBTQ community. And before I leave, I just want to say this right here. I'll be back Friday with hot topics. Then I'll be back again. I forgot for no most time, but y'all make sure y'all tune in. And then in May, I'm gonna be out we're gonna be doing some reconstruction on Vino. So Vino will be up under construction in May. You may see me out still doing my videos. It's supposed to be working out and stuff like that. But believe me, we're gonna be on construction. When we come back, y'all, we're gonna be we're gonna be held to force with. I promise you, we're gonna be held to force with. I got my things in order. You know what I'm saying? Some fun things in order to come out and enjoy. Things like that. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. You know what I'm saying? I try to give best information I could give out. Like I said, if y'all know anybody that needs this information, these resources, hey, run it back to the end in the middle, watch all the resources and everything, and share them resources, y'all. You just never know who you can help with resources. You just never know what kind of life you can save. You just never know who need a safe haven, in no matter what their gender are. You know what I'm talking about? No matter who they are. No matter who they are. We don't know what goes on in people's life. People go through things every day. Every day. Let's see. I got what I got coming up next? Next I got coming up is hot topics, like I said. And I got dating a down low man chronicles. Woo! Woo-hoo! I can't wait, y'all. And after that, y'all, I got one more show coming up before the end of the month. On that, and then like I said, we're gonna be up on construction. Not only that, it's gonna be really nice, y'all. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be some different things going on. And y'all, I need about 16 more subscribers at CK Ladies of Generations, y'all. I need 16 more subscribers. That boy DC need about 20 some more subscribers so he can go live on his wall or on his StreamYard. It's gonna be it's a men's talk show, men's things only. Men's things. They might have men's trips. You just never know. A men's cruise. Women's go on cruises all the time. Why a man can't get his silver fox or his men crew and go on trips and stuff and do with things enjoyment the same way women enjoy themselves. Cigar lounges and whiskey and wine, whiskey and just cigar lounges and whiskey and brandy. I mean brandy, got brandy and things like that. Why not? Right? But anyway, y'all, sure. Oh, I've got. Let me pull this up now. I've been upset. I've been so upset. I got to do something with my system. I've been upset. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Now, let me pull it up right quick. Let me see. Y'all know I'm slow, child. Let's see, where is it? What I do? I kept it because I said I wanted to share it with y'all. I know I didn't get rid of it. Now I said I wanted to share it. What in the world? Oh, let me go. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Maybe it's over there. I want to share it with y'all. God doggone it. Let me see. Oh, I know where it's at. I got it, yeah. I got it. I got it. Okay. Today I was reading. I'm always reading. I'm gonna get enough to put my eyes on stuff. So I was going down through my timeline on Facebook and everything, and I was reading some stuff. Thanks for the information. You all do. Thank you, yeah. So it said today I'm gonna call the police department tomorrow. I'm gonna call DPD tomorrow. They're gonna say, ma'am, you show this nose, and with sir, I want some answers. I just got to know, and I really want to know. It said I'm hearing reports that a Dallas County tenant took their own life this morning when constables appeared to evict them. The amount of the back rent was $1,296. Dallas County tenants took their own life this morning, today, when the constables appeared to evict them. The amount of their back rent was $1,296. I'm about to cry now. That pissed me off. Yeah, that pissed me off. For one, it pissed me off that they are making people homeless. They are making people homeless. You got to decide to pay your bills or feed your face. You got to make the decision of going and putting gas in your car to go to work or paying your bill, your rent. You got to make a decision of doing this, doing that, or pay your rent. That means your water, your gas don't cut off. Everything, you got a house to live in, but you can't pay your bills. You got an option. I'm paying my rent, pay my bills. Pay my rent, pay my bills. And pay my bills, be behind my rent. Late fee, gonna get put out. They gonna try to evict me. If I'm gonna pay my bills, right, Pep. If I pay my bills, if I pay my rent, that means my light gonna get cut off, my gas, ain't gonna wash my face, eat, my kids ain't gonna be able to eat. You know, you see what I'm saying? And the fight that's going on now with economy and stuff, it's not our fight. It's just time for us to just sit back and grab our popcorn and for us to look. But my thing is, it pisses me off when when those people keep raising the high prices on food, clothing, automobiles. Y'all might give it, go get y'all ass a damn skateboard. Because the way cars gonna be so damn high, you gonna be able to drive them cars. Everything's so high. But you ain't giving nobody no money. Some people still making $7.25 an hour. I be damn if I work for $7.25 an hour. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna do it, and I won't do it. You understand me? I'm not gonna work for no $7.25 an hour. Cause that ain't no damn money. That's just one bill and a pack of bologna, a light bread, and I didn't say a loaf of bread. I said light bread, some mayonnaise, mustard, bag of chips, and some damn soda or water. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. But if I don't do it, I'm gonna be hungry. Nevertheless known, I'm gonna be short on my rent. See, they got to do better, y'all. It ain't nothing we can do. It ain't nothing we can do. It didn't matter no matter how we would fall, and we all would went down there and voted for Kamala Harris. She still wasn't gonna win. The winning wasn't even in the making for her. She wasn't gonna win regardless. Regardless, she was not gonna win. Now, I'm coming back Friday, but I'm thinking I'm tempted to come back before then because I got some stuff I want to talk about so bad. But before I go, Mr. Brown, I'm gonna let your ass have it. Yeah, Mr. Brown. Y'all, Mr. Brown ain't no good. He ain't no good. Oh, David Man ain't no good. Mr. Brown ain't no good. Mr. Brown ain't no good. Miss Purr. That's what I'm gonna talk to you about. I've been food poisoning 3 times in the last month. Shut your dang on mouth, boy. I'm calling you, child. I'm gonna call you. Son, let me tell you something. Restaurant, grocery store, food store. Let me tell you something. These foods is not right. It ain't right. You be better off by cooking at home, being better, safer with your foods. These restaurants is not handling these foods right. These foods are not at the right temperature that they're supposed to be on the thermometers. These USDAs is not going to these places. Some of them getting paid to pass them through. And not only that, some of the foods that we've been eating, Tori, is some of the foods that we ain't even supposed to be eating no way. It's no good for us. Period. But I'm going to call you my king. I sure am. But y'all, if y'all, look here. If I could went and got them damn folks over there and brought them to my house and let them stay with me, I would have. Because there's no way in the world they supposed to be unalive because of doggone addiction. Now, that person who went and found an addiction on them people, I hope it eat their heart out. I hope it eat them down to guilt. Now, tomorrow, it ain't my business. I swear to God it ain't. But I'm going to let you know on Friday. Because I'm sure calling down to the police department tomorrow. Because I sure want to know why they unalive themselves and they didn't get no kind of help to help them to stay in a place for $1,000 and some punk dollars. Were those late fees for $1,000 some dollars? Or was it rent up to $1,000 of rent? But I think those just late fees. Why late fees can't be paid back? Why you got to pay late fees? Ain't this the land we probably born and raised on? Ain't this a land of freedom? Ain't this a land where we supposed to be staying here, living our best life on? Why we got to pay damn bills here? Why we got to pay some damn rent? Why I got to pay an electric bill every month? Why I got to pay this man my $1,200 a month rent? Why I got to pay some water bill? Why I got to do this? Why? Because they put a price on it. Because they put a price on it. I didn't say we. They put a price on it. That's why. But anyway, back to Mr. David Man. Mr. David Man, you ain't nothing. You a scum bucket off my shoe. I wouldn't even wipe the spit off my shoe on your shirt to make you comfortable. Because I don't even like you no more, Mr. Man. I cannot believe what you did, and what you have done. When I come on here Friday, y'all, I'm going to spit Mr. Man out and I'm going to chew him up and I'm going to leave him where he stand. Right where he stand on his own. Mr. Man ain't no good. You tell me about a Christian ain't shit. I tell you what, man, don't y'all know in my heart, it's just me, that I believe Tamla Man is a good woman. Just by her spirit that I feel from the TV, her vibes, I feel from her. The music that I heard her sing, the tunes that I heard from her. You know what I'm saying? I felt she a good woman. She a good wholesome. As I said, she a good wholesome woman. Why in the hell is David man out there cheating y'all with 2 kids? Yeah, land the free. That's right, Tori. That's one of the reasons I've been off the grid most of the time. Dang, Tori, land the free wasn't meant for us. It wasn't. It wasn't. But let me tell you something. It used to be. We used to live free on the land until they came around, want to start splitting up states, splitting up the land and make this state and make that state. Then want to start trading for food and that started back in the 1900s, I believe, back in the day. Maybe in taking bath in the wash tubs and stuff and things like that. A quarter to take a bath, 50 cents for this, a nickel for this, a dime for this. That's when that shit started back then. And you understand what I'm gonna tell y'all. And back then, when they was charging all that money for all that stuff like that back then, when I say we, the melanated people, we weren't collecting no damn money for none of that stuff. You understand me? When I say they, I mean the white man who was in power right today is up 2025. They was the ones who was collecting them dimes, nickels for a wash tub bath, to wash their club on a wash their clothes on a washboard. The land of freedom belonged to us. Tori say, well, meant for us. And her girl say it's belong to us. You hear me? Yeah, they didn't want to put prices on everything. Wasn't no price on no water. Wasn't no price on no water for us to stay. You just go out there and just build your house on a piece of land, and that was your doggone land, right where you stood at. Now you got to pay for a piece of land. You ain't gonna never own it. When you own the house, you still ain't own the land because you still got to pay taxes for the land. If you don't pay taxes for the land, what your house be gone along with that land that you didn't pay no taxes on. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Yeah. What I'm trying to tell you is it ain't they making the system to be meant for us to be poor. The system wasn't meant for us to be poor. The system was meant for us to live how we live on God's earth and what God made for us to eat off of. The system now is being turned around and used from the white man whom, I ain't say white man's, the white man whom is in power of everything that we have to pay for nowadays. TV, what? Electricity, what? You had to pay for none of this stuff back in the day, but now you got to pay for everything that you get. Even nowadays, you got to pay for a pack of sugar. You can't go to McDonald's no more and ask for, can I get a cup of water? They tell me a cup of water at McDonald's, 25 cents. I'd be damned if I pay 25 cents for some water. I'm not going to be able to do it. I ain't going to do it. I ain't. But I'll be back, y'all. Hey, we're going to make it a boom for the month of April. We come out. When I come back in May, y'all, we come back and we're going to be came from under construction, y'all. Y'all heard me? Y'all make sure y'all check out my videos. I work out in the morning time to keep myself healthy and fit. And so far, I have lost some pounds. I'm getting there. Hey, feeling good about myself. As you lose pounds and lose weight, you feel good about yourself. I'm not, and you're healthy, you get stronger, and your mind gets stronger. You get in that gym, you start working out, you go in there, you condition your mind as well as you work out. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And the Web Torch, they broke us down in 6 in Vietnam War and with welfare. They sure did. And they still broke them down right today because they said y'all stealing the money and they want to take the money back from you and saying that somebody stole your benefits in the way in a whole another state you ain't know nobody's in. But anyway, y'all know my motto. Y'all know my girl motto. Keep your head on a swivel. Each one teach one. And my motto, how the hell you going to love somebody you don't love yourself? And I'll be back on Friday. Peace. Love y'all. I'm going to leave. Get my comment before I leave. Miss Perp going on today, 17 days. Stay focused. Yes, sir, Taurus. I'm going on 17 days, baby. And I am focused. You hear me? I am focused. My clothes is getting loose on me. I went to put my old waist trainer on. I couldn't wear it, so now I got to get me a new waist trainer. Hey, I'm going in for it, and I ain't stopping. Last time I stopped because that old wicked of the west, wicked of the east, wicked of the west, best die, L-I-O-U, Billy Bum, Baboon, Raccoon, Mud Duck was interrupting my peace at the time, and I couldn't focused, but now I'm focused now. And since I'm started now, I'm not stopping. Anyway, y'all know our motto. See y'all on Friday. How the hell you gonna love somebody? You don't love yourself. Peace, and we out.